Hi, my name is Michael Welch. Welcome to our third podcast. We're glad to have you back this week. Today we're going to talk about several different things, and I want to first start focusing on our different brands that we've talked about before. So if we can bring up the screen that has our different brands that we have under the Rocky Mountain High banner. We've established a brand management company that has several different brands under it. And the reason that we've done this is to provide different revenue streams for the company. Each of the different brands has different channels of distribution under that brand. The theory behind this is to provide different avenues for the company to generate revenue for its shareholders. Today we're going to talk about Eagle Spirit Spring Water. And we're very pleased to have a guest with us today that's a critical part of the Eagle Spirit Spring Water strategic plan. So I'm going to introduce you today to Tawanna Heyward-Bey. Tawanna, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate you and Chuck asking me to be here today.
Thank
you.
Thank you for, especially on such short notice. We're very pleased that you could join us.
Me too.
Tawanna, why don't you tell us something about your background?
Okay, sure. Well, I'd love to. Let's see. I've been an entrepreneur and a business owner for over a decade now. I became an entrepreneur in 2006. I spent 10 years in the telecom industry. I spent 10 years in nonprofit industries, and I spent 5 years in IT working for Ross Perot at Perot System. And after working at Perot Systems, it was during the time when the Perot family decided to sell to Dell.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I bet that was an interesting time.
You know, Michael, it was a very interesting time because as a baby boomer, I expected to be with the Perot family until I retired. Mm-hmm. I mean, I enjoyed working for the company. I learned many things. I was responsible for many different things, worked in management, oversaw some recruitment teams. I understood the business model, especially as it related to even mergers and acquisitions. And when I found out that they were selling, and I got a pink slip after receiving my 10-year plaque and clock. Can you imagine? I said, oh, my goodness, this is not funny. But, yeah, and so after that, I decided, I worked as a contractor in human resources and staffing for some small business owners. And I realized at that time that my skills, my background, my experiences, what I call transferable skills, I can run my own business. I'm a technical writer. I'm a bidder. I understand RFPs. I want to start my own business, and that began my entrepreneur journey. I became a serial entrepreneur. I really jumped.
Oh, that's great.
The risk taker in me, I took a big leap. And I started several companies. I started a recruitment and staffing business. I started a global consulting firm, another nationwide consulting firm, a nonprofit organization. So I really got busy. But it's the recruitment firm where I got my hands into learning about the many things that has allowed me to work as a coach and a consultant today and help small businesses with certifications and doing business with public municipalities, with the government, and Fortune 500 corporations. So that's where it all began. That's how it began, and really the rest is history. I've been able to do some phenomenal things and work with some incredible companies in the private sector, in the public sector, and the government as a business owner over the last 10 years.
Well, tell us how you got to Rocky Mountain High brands.
Oh, well, I'd love to. So Robert Smith, who's also a part of the team, introduced me to Rocky Mountain. And this was several years ago. I met Robert about maybe 5 years ago. I guess it was 5 years ago. And I was working with a client who is a payroll company. They're a payroll and staffing business. And they brought me on board to use my business development skills, my bidding skills on finding new contracts. And I had just landed a $10 million contract with Bexar County and San Antonio for this company when Robert came on board to be a consultant for insurance. And we began to talk. And as we began to talk, Robert realized that there was a similarity in a company that he had worked for 15 years with a woman who was also a minority business enterprise company at that time. And it was really great to learn that Robert understood the importance of certifications and doing business and growing your business through these certifications. And so we connected from there and did some business together and were able to help different clients. And he introduced me to Eagle Spirit Water. He introduced me to the culture of the Native American heritage and Mary Porter Biddy and that entire family and the history and how she's the last Comanche medicine woman. And I mean, I fell in love with the culture and the history and what this water represents. And of course, I became a customer. I started drinking the water every day, you know, and so it just all went from there. Once Rocky Mountain High got to a place where Robert, what he says often is he realized we need someone like Tawana to come in and help us grow through certifications where we can be able to do business with the government and start bidding on some contracts and getting the water out there on the shelf, not just nationwide, but all over the world. And that's what I do.
Okay,
that's what I do.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move forward to the next slide. So the way we structured the company to accomplish this is that Rocky Mountain High Brands is the publicly traded company
Exactly.
with approximately 23,000 shareholders. We established a subsidiary, which is a wholly owned subsidiary named Eagle Spirit Land and Water Company, and with the Pofabidi Family LLC, which owns the water rights, owns David Spring, where the water actually originates from.
Right.
With the great heritage and
Exactly.
the last Comanche
That's it.
eagle doctor, Mary Sanapia Pofabidi, used to heal her patients with.
Exactly.
We formed another entity called Rocky Mountain High Water Company, and the way that is structured is Eagle Spirit Land and Water owns 49% of that, and the Pofabidi Family LLC owns 51% of that. By structuring it that way, we've created a majority-owned Native American enterprise.
That's
and
correct.
We've created this visual to help show that because it's a very important concept for our company. It allows us to go after the minority business enterprise certification, which is
right.
very important in government contracting. Can you elaborate on that?
I certainly can. As Robert and I, when he introduced me to the company and I was able to meet you and Chuck, which was just phenomenal, and we were beginning to strategize and look at, okay, how do we grow? How do we leverage? And I remember introducing the minority business enterprise, which just basically says, okay, this certification is being awarded to a company who is 51% owned by a minority, in this case, Native American, and also managing as well. And what it will do is it will allow the company to be able to be in searchable database, be able to register, to do business with the government, to be able to do business with public municipalities, even the private sector as well. And I knew this was a way to be able to get us in the door and get us registered and get the process going. It is a process, and it's a long process, but I knew once we were able to get that going, that will be the beginning of doors opening for the company.
So just so everyone understands, Robert Smith is the president of Rocky Mountain High Water Company, and Robert Smith is also the individual who introduced Rocky Mountain High to the Pofabidi family. So he also acts as representative of the Pofabidi family LLC. So
Right.
Robert is instrumental in the relationship that Rocky Mountain High has with the Pofabidi family.
Exactly.
So he's an instrumental part of this whole, the whole structure that we have in the water. And
Exactly.
so everyone listening understands what Robert's relationship is to the water. I just wanted to clarify that.
That's good. And then, of course, his relationship with me, he brought me on board
Right.
knowing that I'm working as a consultant and an advisor helping businesses to be aware of these certifications and then how to go through the process.
Right.
Because you do need some coaching through
Right.
that application process. It's a lengthy process.
And as a majority-owned Native American enterprise, it also requires that a representative of the Pofabidi family, in this case Laura Pofabidi, be actively involved in Rocky Mountain High Water Company, which she is.
Which she is, absolutely. And I know I've had the privilege of being able to meet Laura. Laura is an incredible woman, a really
Yes,
sharp
she
woman.
is.
She is involved. She knows what's going on. And we have a relationship where I made a vow to her that we really click.
Right. So do we.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
We're very pleased to have her involved.
Oh, absolutely. And I made a commitment to her to do my very best in helping and assisting the business to make an impact and bidding on these contracts. And because of, it's not just a great taste of the water. Okay, it's an awesome water, but it's also an awareness of the water and how different it is from other waters. I'm an entrepreneur who believes in self-care.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one day the body's going to start to give out.
Right.
And to know that we have a product here that helps the body,
Right.
heals the body.
That's right.
That kind of awareness sets us apart.
It does.
From every other water that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I take it as a responsibility to help the family and the business get that awareness out there. I know we can do it through the government and in so many other ways. And so having the Buy Indian Act, having the certifications, all of these leverage and help us get our water out there.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you talk about what potential we have as a company with government contracting and as a minority business with the minority business enterprise certification? What types of contracts we'll be able to bid on?
Okay, wonderful. Well, first of all, what I would like our listeners to understand and know is that the certification, there are several kind of certifications that are out there and available. This is just one of them that we are going to go after, the LBE, because the MBE, because that's what we apply for and that's what we're qualified to apply for. But what it will allow us to do as a company is first of all, it's an incredible, valuable marketing tool. Mm-hmm. It sets us apart from our competitors. We
Right.
are a we're getting certified. We're a certified minority business enterprise. That sets us apart. It also allows us to be now in these searchable databases that the third-party certifying agency, when you get certified, when you get an MBE, you have to go through the application process, and that is done by a third-party certifying agency. When that happens, now the business is in a searchable database that major entities who are connected to these third-party entities, they get to see. So they get to see that we have a majority-owned Native American company that has a water product. Oh, we need water in Delaware. Oh, we need water in New Jersey. Oh, we need some water down here at this Air Force base.
Right.
Let's get these folks an email alert and let them know that a solicitation is coming out on the street. We want them to bid on it.
Right. Right.
That is really huge, because guess what? Without a certification, we wouldn't even know about these contracts.
Right.
We wouldn't know they exist. And so having a certification allows us to be able to go through, and some of the things that we've been able to accomplish so far is the SAM, going through the System Award Management System, with which the government recognizes for billing purposes. We're able to now go after making sure that we register in different places, so when our certification goes to these databases, they feed and talk to one another. Now our services and our goods and services are out there to be seen.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't there a certain amount of dollars that have been set aside within the administration that have not been spent that we will be considered for, that we've talked about?
That's a great question. A good question, Michael. Look, the government spends an astonishing amount of money yearly. They have over $500 billion yearly contracted, set aside for small business owners. And every state gets a piece of, I call that pie. And these set aside dollars are at least 23% that are spent with small business owners. And when you are certified, when you have a certification, that's a big piece of the pie. I mean, if there's a contract out there for 10, 15, $20 million, you start doing the math, my God. And what the other great thing about this is these contracts are 3 years, 5 years, sometimes 10 years.
Right.
That you have an opportunity to do business with. So yes, these set-aside dollars they're mandatory.
Right.
They are mandatory, and they're required for small business owners. And so that gives us an opportunity to compete and win,
right.
With right pricing, with our capability statement tells them, who we are, what we're offering, what we have, and the quality, the science behind our water. And all of those things are leveraged. They're all good in getting in and being able to do business. So, and that's not just the government. That's also public municipalities and private sectors as well.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things that you've been a part of are some of the meetings where we've talked about winning one of these contracts and having the production requirements that would allow us to build a plant on the land that's adjacent to the well, because we have the land adjacent to the well that would give us the ability to build a plant nearby.
Right.
And it's one of our goals to do that. And in doing that, we would create employment opportunities for the Native American citizens in the community near the well site, which creates a lot of advantages to the Native Americans in that area. It creates employment opportunities, it creates educational opportunities, and it lowers our production costs. So we see it as a win-win situation. We're very excited about the prospects of doing that. We've talked about how we could establish programs to employ the Native Americans, to provide educational opportunities for the Native Americans in the southwestern Oklahoma area. And so you've been a part of those discussions with us.
Yes,
so
I have.
We're very excited about that.
I'm very excited about it as well. I mean, it's a very important factor and part of what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish. It's a part of the economic development,
right?
And the community is huge, and it's a big deal.
It
means a lot. It means a lot. Yes.
It does mean a lot.
Yes.
It means a lot to us as a company.
Yes.
So
yes.
We're looking forward to the opportunity to do that. Right now, we have to transport the water to a bottling facility.
Right.
Currently, we've been transporting it to the Dallas area. We're looking at other bottling facilities in Oklahoma City and other areas that could be closer to lowering our cost.
Right.
And so we're always looking at alternatives to lower the cost and keeping the quality the same, if not better.
Exactly.
But, right. So that if we were able to build a bottling facility there, there's all sorts of advantages of doing that.
Right.
So,
Right.
one of the things, let's go through some of the slides. We've talked about Mary Sanapia Pofabidi and her role as the last Comanche medicine doctor, which is our last Comanche Eagle doctor, which really gives this water such an interesting story.
Yes,
that's,
it does.
Unlike any water in the world. So I think that we have a really unique water, and a water that tastes like no other water I've ever tasted.
Absolutely, I agree.
mean, I think it's the best tasting water I've ever had, and
So do I.
so I'm biased, but if you look at that, I'm from Oklahoma too, so it's
Nice.
I never thought I would be representing a water from my home state, which is exciting.
It is.
So let's go to the next slide. One of the exciting things about that are all the health benefits that we hit upon earlier.
Yes.
On high alkaline water.
Right.
And the exciting thing about our high alkaline water is that it comes out of the ground at this alkalinity. We don't do anything to the water to bring it to this level of alkalinity.
Exactly.
It's naturally high
It's
alkaline.
naturally. That's
Right.
exactly right. Right.
And it's rich in minerals, and it comes
High
out
natural occurring mineral.
highly natural occurring minerals.
That's exactly right.
And the interesting thing about it is the pressurization brings it to the surface. We don't even have to pump the water out of the ground. It basically, the pressurization brings it to the surface.
Yes.
So some of the benefits are listed on this slide on high alkaline water. So it's something that I've learned about over the last couple of years since I've been involved in the company and Eagle Spirit. So
Yes.
I drink it religiously. I have at least 2 or 3 bottles of it a day.
So do I. So do I. I have it everywhere.
Right. So do I. So do I. So we have several different products in the product line. We have the individual bottles, the new 1 liter bottles, which we're very pleased to have, and then we have the water in the box, which is the water in the box is great in terms of its impact on the environment, and it's a good alternative for water coolers.
That's right.
It's a replacement to the plastic bottles.
Exactly.
It has an adapter that'll go on top of a water cooler.
Yes.
We put it in the refrigerator at home. I actually like water without it being refrigerated,
I do
I'll
too.
keep it out on the shelf.
Room temperature.
I like it
Yes.
at room temperature.
Me too.
So, here are the key takeaways on this: that it's a Native American-owned enterprise. It's a Native American product.
That's right.
And the naturally high alkalinity, the healthy occurring mineral levels.
Right.
Of course, the healthy benefits of high alkaline water, the 3 delivery methods, and the rich heritage that goes along with it.
Right.
We have several distribution channels, and we've talked a lot about the government contracts today and all of the potential in that. But in addition to the government contracts, we are in retail at Central Market. We have recently reached an agreement with a national grocery chain that we're going to be announcing in the next couple of weeks. It's 160 stores in Louisiana and Texas, so we're very excited about that.
Outstanding.
And it's not only Eagle Spirit Water, but it's our new Fitway brand of protein and whey.
Yes.
So we're very excited about that. It's going to be a launch that will include point of sale material and all sorts of support with it that'll go into those stores. Additionally, we sell these products on e-commerce through our own website and through
Right.
Amazon, and we're looking at ways to. We've recently redone the Eagle Spirit website. I don't know if you've seen the
Yes,
new
I have. Yes.
Eagle Spirit website, but
Yes.
we've improved that, and we're looking at ways to improve the shopping experience on Amazon as well.
Excellent.
So we're into several of the Native American tribes. Robert Smith has
Yes.
been instrumental in that effort. I think you've helped Robert with some of that.
Yes,
have
I
you not?
have. I've had the opportunity and had so much fun participating in a preferred vendor event. The Chickasaw, the Choctaws, all of those preferred vendor events that have been coming up, I've been invited and I've been able to participate and be able to meet so many of the buyers and other Native American companies, and building those relationships. It's been incredible.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's
it's been
great.
incredible.
Well, there's a lot of potential. So we're in several of them. We've listed them, and in all of them, it involves convenience stores, casinos, and smoke shops. Now, not all the ones that are listed in here were in each of those different outlets currently, but one of the exciting things is with the Chickasaw tribe, they own WinStar Casino, which is
Yes.
the largest casino in the world.
Right.
Which is interesting because most of my life I've driven on I-35 between Norman, Oklahoma, and Dallas, and
Right.
to see the largest casino in the world halfway between the two is a very interesting thing.
It is.
And then we've also been approached on private label opportunities. Different people have come in for whatever reason and asked if we would be interested in private labeling the water for them. And while we haven't done it yet, we've entertained those opportunities. So,
I had an opportunity to talk with some of those companies that are interested in that when I was at the last preferred vendor event.
right.
And I know that's coming soon for
Right.
us. Yes.
So one of the things that we've learned as a company is that there's a high demand for private labeling.
Yes, it
And,
is.
We find that very interesting. So,
I did as well.
Yeah, so it's very exciting.
It is.
So we're excited about Eagle Spirit Spring Water. We think that this could be a very highly contributing factor to our overall revenue stream as a company as we move
Absolutely.
into the future. And it certainly falls into our good for you brand, which is where we want to be as a company.
Absolutely. I agree.
So we're very excited about that.
So am I.
So so tell us why you believe in our company.
Why I believe in the company. Well, I have to say, Michael, that from the time I met you and Chuck and David, the attorney, and Robert, from the very beginning, what I appreciate as an entrepreneur, because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a small business, and what I appreciate since I've been approached by Robert and he brought me to the table and you all became my client, that's usually how it works, right?
Right.
There has been such a great collaboration and partnership and a respect that I appreciate. And I also appreciate the fact that every strategy and plan that I've laid out, and we've had lots of conversations and lots of presentations, and we've spent a lot of good time together. And it's been fabulous to see how it's all coming together because we've been working together in a partnership. And I always say, I do lots of roundtables and public speaking with small business owners, and I always tell them it's very important to build a great relationship with your client. And I believe I have that with you all. And I'm excited to be on the team. I don't always feel like, I'm the advisor and consultant and you guys are my client,
Right.
but no, we are a team.
That's right.
And
That's
we
right.
are working on this thing
Right.
together. We're doing this thing together. But outside of that, the things that I love and I appreciate about the water, about the brand, is the culture
Right.
You know, the culture. And I was teasing with you earlier, plus I have a little DNA Native American in me myself.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
But also the history of the spring, and then the relationship again. Having a relationship with Laura,
Right.
meeting Laura,
Right.
meeting her husband and her family, spending time with them, hearing her vision,
Right.
hearing her heart
Right.
about the product, about the business, and the legacy.
Mm-hmm.
That vision is in my mind all the time.
Right.
And I feel a sense of responsibility. And I'm excited
No.
because I love her now. You know, I have a relationship. And relationship, I say all the time, business is relationship. With integrity, with trust, you do what you say you're going to do, and even more in hard work. And that's what I'm doing. That's what you all are doing. That's what we do together. And we're going to make some great things happen. I believe some great things are going to come.
Oh, I thoroughly believe that.
Oh, yeah.
So just so everyone understands, we engaged you to actually walk us through the process of getting the Minority Business Enterprise certification.
Yep.
But you're also, the services that you're also providing to us is to help us find these type of opportunities as well.
Absolutely.
So it's sort of a two-step contract with us, right?
It absolutely is. I mean, it's what I do. The business development side, I identify contracts. I utilize various software that are out there to identify the contracts that are coming out on the street that we are qualified to go after.
Right.
And that's a NAT code issue. You know, we have our codes that identify our goods and services, and I use that to identify these contracts, building relationships with the SBA.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've been able to get in there and build a relationship with the SBA here. That's Small Business Administration. For those who are listening, may not know the acronyms. Sometimes,
Right.
as business owners, we talk in acronyms.
Right.
RFP. What's an RFP? Request for proposal. So I want to stop and make sure that people are listening know.
Right.
But the Small Business Administration, we've already started building a relationship there. Some business resources and relationships with the Veteran Administration here in Texas. I mean, the business is here, and so we've already started getting out there and building relationships, having sit-downs. We've already registered for APHIS, where we can do business with APHIS. I mean, just a lot of steps that I've already initiated and started taking, and I've been working with you guys to make sure that these organizations help us get to our goal, and that's bidding on these contracts.
And we recently were assigned, as a company, we were assigned a number. Explain what that was.
That's our cage number. You know, when you are applying for contracts and bidding on contracts, that whole process it's a long one. And to do business with the government, you have to go through the SAM. And that's that System Award Management System, which is a billing system. And you have to feed them a lot of information. Mm-hmm. And we were waiting for our cage number to come back. And I called and verified, and Robert really worked diligently to get them everything that they wanted, because when they want it, we got to make sure they get it. It's all clear. We're all good. And so now we're in that system. Now we can start looking at the GSA schedule. I mean, we can start really setting ourselves up to bid on these government contracts. And that's real exciting. I'm really excited about this next phase of it. So the MBE certification, we're still working on that and going through our Minority Business Enterprise certification process. We've got a couple of more things to do.
We're close on that, though, right?
We're very, very close. Very, very close. And we'll be submitting that to, now I recommended for the company to submit our paperwork to 2 third-party or certifying agencies that are here in Texas for our MBE. And let me say, for those who are listening, when you apply to get certified, I wrote a book about this. That's how serious I am about understanding this process. Get certified. I'm an author as well.
Okay, great.
But it's a 90-day process from the time you submit the application and all of the requirements that they ask you for. There's a list of various things, from your bylaws to maybe a birth certificate to a copy of your driver's license to the last 3 years of your taxes. There are many things that's on this criteria list that they require, that they ask for. And we're getting that together, and we're ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah, we're ready to go. And so I'm very excited, because once that gets in, it's a 90-day process. We're pending certification at that point, and we could start bidding and looking at some things and chasing some business out there.
Okay, great, great. Well, that's exciting.
Oh, I'm very fired up about it.
So why don't you tell us about some of your businesses? And
wonderful.
Some of the things that you've got going on.
I would love to. I think we have a presentation that I put together.
Okay,
This
great.
introduces Heyward-Bey International, Building Your Business. I call it the BYB, Online Business School. Now, earlier I said I am a serial entrepreneur. So I have several businesses. T-Bay Consulting Group is incorporated. Heyward-Bey International Incorporated. I just launched this week my online business school. This slide just represents, as a reminder, over 10 years in business. Of course, I have over 30 years as a professional in business, but as an entrepreneur over 10 years in business, I was awarded my first $1.2 million contract in the first year of business, and I was awarded over 20 contracts in the first 3 years of business. Some of my notable contracts, companies that I have done business with, and this is a very small list. I've done business with government, private sector, and public. DFW International Airport, North Texas Tollway Authority, Bloomberg Essilor, Fowlett Software. They do the barcoding for your kids' textbooks. Molina Healthcare, Prism Electric, Parson. I have many contracts with construction firms. I'm certified in construction management. All of these businesses, companies, notable contracts are different industries that I've been able to do business with. Over 1,000 employees on my payroll, running $500,000 a month in payroll. Again, all kinds of contracts in the government and private and public sector. Coach, train, advise, and mentor professional athletes, small and mid-sized businesses owners, and military veterans.
Okay.
I have done a little bit of everything. So my business school, I'm so excited because there's such a demand for Tawana, seems like these days.
That sounds like a song.
Oh my gosh. I had to figure out, how am I going to expand? How am I going to do this and meet the need? Because I do business all over the world. I have global clients. I have clients all over the United States. And so my business school has 7 modules, which is 7 months of premium coaching lessons from experts. And I'm the #1 expert. And I bring in other experts to coach, teach, facilitate through webinars, videos, all 35. That's the next slide. All 35. Premium coaching module topics here. There are 35 coaching lessons. There are 7 modules. The first one, start up to build up, everything from the foundation of starting a business, your mindset, what is the traits of entrepreneur, first things first, to the structure of your business. The second module is everything that we're doing together. It's the WBE. Do you know that certifications are not just for minority business enterprise, but they're for women business enterprise, they're for the LBGT community. There's one certifying agency in this country for the LBGT community and for veterans.
Really?
Yes. Yes. The third module is from passion to nonprofits. I did say I spent over a decade in nonprofits. I do believe I know quite a bit about them. The fourth module is scaling up and managing your small business, human resources. I mean, at some point, you got to hire some folks.
Right.
And so there are 5 lessons, 4 lessons for 4 weeks, and then a bonus lesson in each one of these modules. The 5th is on marketing strategies. When I started my business in 2006, all I had was a brochure, a newsletter, and some business card. You cannot grow a business marketing that way today. You have to be able to market on social media. You have to know your client avatar. the 4 P's of marketing, all of that's in that module. The 6th module,
wait, what are the 4 P's of marketing?
I'm only going to tell you 2, price and product.
Okay.
Oh, I get that a lot. That's funny. Okay, so module 6 is your next level strategy. So what's next? As we grow you and grow your business, we got to be looking at your next level strategy. What is that? That's contract negotiations. What about your A-game presentation? You have to give a presentation when you go in front of a DFW International Airport. Trust me, I know. I was in front of all of their C-level, their HR, their project manager. It's me and my team, one on this side, one on this side, and a whole table on that side of all the top people. You have to be A-game ready in presentation. That's next level strategy. And then module 7, again, I am very concerned about self-care. As we get older, business, you're trying to run a business, you have to take care of yourself. Live a healthy and happy entrepreneur lifestyle is about self-care. It's about nutrition. It's about fitness. It's about taking care of yourself and drinking the best water.
There you go. That's
35
great.
premium coaching lessons. Next slide.
That's great. That's great.
So it's all about getting ready to win. You can go to my website, www.heywardbey, HEYWARDBEY, international.com. And everything is laid out there. If you want to start or grow a business and get premium business consulting and coaching by an expert, you need to visit my website for more.
Well, that's good information.
Yes.
Speaking of professional athletes.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes, I have a cousin. Darius Heyward-Bey plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers, number 88.
Oh,
He is my first cousin.
that's exciting.
Yes, very excited. I get asked a lot about my last name.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Oh,
This has been a lot of fun.
Yes, it has been fun.
I really appreciate it. Very informative.
Yes,
so
yes,
thank you. We'll have to have you back.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.